Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Bill. We are going to be in the Epic Handbook today from 3rd edition D&D. We are continuing the Feats videos for the Epic Handbooks, where we go over the feats that are listed for epic characters. The following feats we will look at today in this video: Master Wand, Mighty Rage, Mobile Defense, Multi-Spell, Multi-Weapon Rend, Music of the Gods, Negative Energy Burst, Overwhelming Critical, Devastating Critical, Penetrate Damage Reduction, Perfect Health, Perfect Multi-Weapon Fighting, Perfect Two-Weapon Fighting, Permanent Emanation, Planar Turning. We are getting closer to finishing the feat list in this book. So without further ado, let me find Master Wand on this page and I will begin reading. You can activate a wand without using a charge. You have to have the prerequisite craft wand and spellcraft of 15 ranks. When you activate a wand, you can substitute a spell slot instead of using a charge. 3rd edition wands had a limited charge when they were made. They didn't do spells per day. And I'm not sure, but I think Pathfinder, they do spells per day. So if you wanted to either change it up, you could give them 50 charges when they're made, or you would have to change the effects of this a little bit. Maybe allow them to use this feat to not use up the charges per day. The spell slot must be one you have not used for the day, though you may lose a prepared spell to emulate a 1 charge. You may not lose a prepared spell from your school of specialty, if any. The spell slot lost must be equal to or higher in level than the spell stored in the wand, including any level increasing metamagic enhancements. For example, if a lightning bolt is on your class list and you find a wand of lightning bolt with 3 charges, you can expend unused spell slots instead of charges, thus extending the life of the wand. Once the charges reaches 0 in a wand in 3rd edition, it's useless. The next feat is Mighty Rage. Your rage becomes even more powerful than normal. The prerequisite is a strength of 21, a constitution of 21. Greater Rage class feature. Benefit: when you rage, you gain a +8 bonus to strength and constitution, and a +4 morale bonus to will saves. These bonuses replace the normal rage bonuses. So if you already have up to a +8 in Pathfinder, it's been forever since I looked that high on a barbarian. Whatever the highest bonus is, I just increase them by 1 or by 2 points each. So that's how you could bring that back into a above 20th level game. Mobile Defense. You can adjust your position while maintaining a defensive stance. The prerequisite is a dex of 15, the dodge feat, the mobility feat, spring attack feat, defensive stance 5 per day class feature. And that was in the Dwarven Defender class, prestige class. Benefit: while in a defensive stance, you may take 1 5-foot adjustment each round without losing the benefit of the stance. Normal: without this feat, you can't move while in a defensive stance. And for the Dwarven Defender, a defensive stance is like a rage. They can only do it so many times per day, it lasts for so many rounds, but for the Dwarven Defender, it was like a huge AC bonus. Next is Multi-Spell. This is one of my favorite feats out of the Epic Handbook, especially if you get all the automatic quicken spells. You can cast additional quicken spell in a round. Prerequisite: quicken spell. Ability to cast 9th level arcane or divine spells, because you could use it for either class. Benefit: you may cast 1 additional quickened spell in a round. Special: you can gain this feat multiple times. Its effects stack. So not only could you cast 2 quicken spells in a regular spell in a round, you could take the feat again. You could cast 3 quicken spells in a regular spell in a round. So the more you take this feat, the more spells you can essentially spam in one turn, although you'd be using up your resources of spells stored. And then the automatic quicken spells pick so many levels of your spells to be automatically quickened, so you get that up to 9th level spells, which would require 3 of those feats. Then now every spell is automatically quickened, so you don't even have to expend any higher level spell slots to quicken your regular spells. Now your epic spells would need spell slots, so 10th level, 11th level, 12th level, and so on. What is next after multi-spell? Multi-weapon rend. You can rend opponents when fighting with more than 2 limbs. Prerequisites: Dex of 15, base attack bonus +9, 3 or more hands, multi-dexterity, multi-weapon fighting. Benefit: if you hit an opponent with 2 or more weapons, wielded in different hands, in the same round, you may automatically rend the opponent. This rending deals additional damage equal to the base damage of the smallest weapon that hit plus 1.5 times your strength modifier. You can only rend once per round, regardless of how many successful attacks you make. For example, if you wielded 3 weapons simultaneously and you hit with any 2 of the 3 weapons in the same round, you would automatically rend your opponent for the appropriate damage. Special: this feat replaces 2 weapon rend feat for creatures with more than 2 arms. And then next is Music of the Gods. So this is for all the bard characters in epic level. You can use your bardic music to influence creatures immune to mind-affecting effects. Prerequisite: Charisma 25. Perform 30 ranks. I'd lower the perform to 27 ranks for Pathfinder, just because of how ranks worked from 3rd edition to 3.5. In 3rd edition, you would start with enough points, and the maximum ranks that you could put in a skill was 3 plus your level. In Pathfinder, the maximum amount of ranks is equal to your level, and you only get the skill points if you only wanted to max out that one skill to do so as you level. The benefit: your bardic music can affect even those normally immune to mind-affecting effects. However, such creatures gain a +10 bonus to their will save to resist such effects. So, next is Negative Energy Burst. I'm looking at my notes because at some point I got to start flipping through the book. My list comes off the table where they list it and show you prerequisites, but not the big description, so that a little bit of flipping through the book is going to be needed. Navigate Energy Burst. Not navigate. Negative Energy Burst. That was funny. You can use your Rebuke/Command Undead ability to unleash a burst of negative energy. Prerequisites: Charisma of 25, ability to rebuke or command undead, ability to cast Inflict critical wounds, any evil alignment. Benefit: you can use 1 rebuke or command undead attempt to unleash a wave of negative energy in a 60-foot burst. Roll a normal rebuke or command check, except that the negative energy burst affects living creatures rather than undead. Any creature that would be rebuked by this result gains 1 negative level. Any creature that would be commanded by this check gains 2 negative levels. The Fortitude save DC to remove these levels 1 day later is equal to 10 plus half your effective turning level plus your charisma modifier. This would be a harder one to change into Pathfinder because you'd have to get the turn undead table from 3rd edition to use for this, but that'd be the only thing that'd make it harder. You could just do a 60-foot radius for your channel, negative energy, and do it as a and have this feat give them negative levels based on their hit dice compared to you. Overwhelming Critical. Choose 1 type of melee weapon, such as a longsword or great axe. With that weapon, you do more damage on a critical hit. Prerequisites: Strength of 23. the cleave feat, the great cleave feat, the improved critical with the weapon chosen, power attack, weapon focus with the weapon of choice. Benefit: when using the weapon you have selected, you deal plus 1d6 points of damage on a successful critical hit. If the weapon's critical multiplier is times 3, add plus 2d6 points of damage instead. If the multiplier is times 4, add plus 3d6 points of bonus damage instead. So if the critical is higher than plus 4, essentially just subtract 1 from the critical number, and that's how many 6-sided dice are bonus extra on a critical hit. Special: creatures immune to critical hits can't be affected by this feat. You can gain this feat multiple times. Its effects do not stack. Each time you take this feat, it applies to a different type of weapon. Okay, here's where I need to flip through the book. So I need devastating critical. Devastating critical. Choose one type of melee weapon, such as a longsword or great axe. With that weapon, you are capable of killing any creature with a single strike. Prerequisites: a strength of 25, cleave, great cleave, improved critical, weapon to be chosen, overwhelming critical, weapon to be chosen, power attack, and weapon focus with the weapon to be chosen. Benefit: when using the weapon you have selected, whenever you score a critical hit, the target must make a fortitude save, DC 10, plus half your character level, plus your strength modifier, or die instantly. Creatures immune to critical hits can't be affected by this feat. Special: you can gain this feat multiple times. Its effects do not stack. Each time you take this feat, it applies to a different type of weapon. Penetrate damage reduction. You can bypass a creature's damage reduction. Benefit: your attacks are made as if with an additional +2 bonus to their standard enhancement bonus. For instance, when attacking a creature with damage reduction 35 to a +3 magical weapon, you would only need a +1 weapon to bypass the damage reduction with this feat. Special: this feat does not actually confer an enhancement bonus. It only emulates one for the purpose of penetrating an opponent's damage reduction. The bonus conferred by penetrate damage reduction stacks with the bonus conferred by key strike. So with this, it's easier to bypass the 3rd edition damage reductions. But that said, if you're using the +2 higher, once your weapon's above a +5, it's considered epic. So the ones that had damage reduction, epic, and pathfinder, you would only need a +4 weapon with this feat to do epic damage as far as the damage reduction was concerned. Next is perfect health. You are immune to normal disease and common poisons. Prerequisites: a con of 25 and great fortitude. Benefit: you are immune to all non-magical diseases, as well as to all poisons whose fortitude save DC is 25 or less. Which is, I won't say it's all of them, but that's pretty much most of them in the standard books. Excuse me. Now we're on to perfect multi-weapon fighting. This is for creatures with 3 or more arms fighting with weapons. A creature with 3 or more hands can fight with a weapon in each hand. The creature is allowed its full number of attacks with each extra weapon. Prerequisites: a dex of 25, 3 or more hands, greater multi-weapon fighting, multi-dexterity, multi-weapon fighting. Benefit: you can make as many attacks with each extra weapon as with your primary weapon using the same base attack bonus. For example, a 4-armed creature with this feat and a base attack bonus of 18, 13, 8, 3 could make 4 attacks per round with his primary weapon and 4 attacks per round with his extra weapon. Using this base attack bonus, you still take the normal penalties for fighting with 2 weapons. A creature without this feat can only can make only 1 attack per round with an extra weapon, or 2 attacks per round with each weapon if he has the multi-weapon fighting, or 3 attacks per round if he has the greater multi-weapon fighting. Each attack after the first extra attack has a cumulative -5 penalty. Essentially, all your attacks are at a -5. So you'd have 2 attacks at an 18 -5, 2 attacks at a 13 -5, 2 attacks at an 8 -5, and 2 attacks at a +3 -5. This feat replaces the perfect 2-weapon fighting feat for creatures with more than 2 arms, and functions identically to the feat if you have fewer than 3 arms. This feat is presented in the non-epic feat section at the end of the chapter. Perfect 2-weapon fighting feat. You can attack with your offhand weapon as frequently as with your primary weapon. Prerequisites: a dex of 25, ambidexterity, greater 2-weapon fighting, improved 2-weapon fighting, and 2-weapon fighting. You can make as many attacks with your offhand weapon as with your primary weapon, using the same base attack bonus. So it's just like the multi-weapon we just read above. They even give the same bonuses: 18, 13, 8, 3. Normal: without this feat, you can only get a single attack with the offhand weapon, 2 attacks with the offhand weapon if you have the improved, 3 attacks if you have the greater 2-weapon fighting. Special: a ranger can qualify for this feat even if he hasn't taken the ambidexterity or the 2-weapon fighting, but can only use it when wearing light armor or no armor. Next, let's see, I'm very close to the end of this video, so permanent emanation, and then one more after that. One of your personal emanation spells becomes permanent. Prerequisite: spellcraft 25 ranks. Ability to cast a spell to be made permanent. So for Pathfinder, I would reduce the spellcraft ranks to 22, just to qualify you at the same level that this was designed for. Benefit: designate any one of your spells whose area is an emanation from you, such as detect magic. This spell's effect is permanent, though you can dismiss or restart it as a free action. Effects that would normally dispel your spell instead suppresses it for 2d4 rounds. Special: this feat may be taken multiple times. Each time, you select a different spell to become permanent. And then here's the last feat we're going to go over this video: planar turning. You can turn or rebuke outsiders. Prerequisite: a wisdom of 25, a charisma of 25, ability to turn or rebuke undead. So you'd have to play with this if you wanted to use it for Pathfinder, where they have the channel instead of turn. Benefit: you can turn or rebuke outsiders as if they were undead. An outsider has effective turn resistance equal to half its spell resistance rounded down. If you can turn undead, you turn or destroy all evil outsiders and rebuke or command all non-evil outsiders. If you can rebuke undead, you rebuke or command all evil outsiders and rebuke or command all non-evil outsiders. Hold on. You would command all evil if you could rebuke undead, and you would destroy all non-evil outsiders. So that one was written a little weird. Typo that somebody missed. That said, I noticed more typos in the Mythic Adventure book for Pathfinder than I have in this Epic Handbook for 3rd edition D&D. Well, if this video was helpful, let me know in the comments below. If you're thinking about playing in an epic campaign beyond 20th level D&D adventure or Pathfinder adventure, I'd recommend this book. And share these videos with your fellow gamers. Until we all game again, guys.